Well, would you look at that, everybody? We can all rest easy knowing that there is an actual inversion coming to Hollywood Drift. Hello everyone and welcome back to Dueling Park News. And if you're new to the channel, welcome. My name is Chase and we are here at Universal Orlando Resort to check up on the Hollywood Drift construction. Now the last time I was here, we had recently saw some more supports get added kind of in between where the Minion Mayhem queue is and say like the backside of the Universal Studio store. Well, those supports have now grown up and are holding an inversion. Recently, everyone online was speculating, well, I don't know if there's gonna be an inversion for this coaster, a technical inversion. Maybe it's just more focused on the drifting aspect. Well, fret no further, guys, because there it is, and we will soon get a closer look at it. Along with the inversion, it does look like we have some electrical work going down below the fins over here. There was a construction worker when I was walking up, but he just got down, so can't really tell what they're doing per se, but I have a feeling it's electrical related. Well, without further ado, let's make our way over to the Hard Rock Cafe, go up to the second story, and check on all the good work that is taking place right now. I hear lots of beating and banging. I don't know if you guys hear that. So they are working on something. We've got even more construction walls separating the little kind of like arch pieces, the supports for the arch. So maybe it is more than just paint. Maybe they're doing some repairs too. But you know the drill. Head towards the arch and turn left towards the spike. Before making our way over to the Hard Rock Cafe, let's just take a look at the scaffolding right here. It does appear that there is electrical work. Oh, okay, here we go. There are some workers right here, kind of below, hidden behind the tree, but they might be working on some electrical stuff. That might be where the beating and banging was from. So interesting. Yeah, if I had to guess, it's probably for the electrical work itself, being that this is kind of going up the little bunny hop and then we slow down right here going up the spike. And then of course, when you're heading towards the Hard Rock from Universal Studios Florida, you naturally have to just pan upwards and just look at the spike. Now that being said, I'm very curious to see what happens with the path here. I don't think it's going to stay this narrow. I actually think we might be walking a little bit closer to the spike supports once it's all said and done. And then while making your way over to the Hard Rock, you will pass the little kind of marquee construction wall showcasing all the cars. And then of course, Fast and Furious Hollywood Drift, new roller coaster coming 2027 to Universal Orlando Resort. And here is the look from the first floor of the Hard Rock, right outside the gift shop. Look at all that. Beautiful, it's like it's touching the sky. Oh, they also took down the two flags. They had an American flag and the Fast and Furious 25th anniversary flag up there. Wonder why they took them down. All right, gotta make my way over to the stairs now so I can actually see. Oh, you get a good view of the track right here too. Even before I go up the stairs, you get a good view of the track. And actually this brings me to a good point. I wonder how much of this will remain walled off. Like, will all this be pathway right here? I know I'm zoomed in, but once the construction wall fences go down, will we be able to walk out there still? Similar to Rip Ride Rocket, how we had the pathway to the Blue Man Group building. Okay, I made it to the top of these steps, but instead of starting at the front, I'm gonna start at the back, so that way we can get some good shots of this inversion. Actually, I think I just answered my question about the concrete path coming back right here. Check this out. Usually they do this when they are testing to see what type of concrete or patterns they want. And if I had to guess, this will be the pathway coming back outside of the Hard Rock and in between the coaster. Okay, here we go. Let's take a look at this inversion from right here. Okay, first off, there's a lot more track now. There is so much more track over there, especially like in this area right here. I did not see that last time. It looks like it's finally going back towards the stage. Honestly, they're probably about to connect it all back there, at least one side of the track. All right, so we got the mid-course brake run right here. It's looking good. It was receiving its catwalk the last time we were here, but now we have this beautiful inversion, and let's just follow the track right now. Let's go up the track, and boom, we are inverting. Look at that. Oh, inverting right there. Shout out to this support. Kind of looks like the pi symbol. And if I was a betting man, I would have a feeling that this track, this inversion, will connect all the way down here to that little itty bitty piece of track right there that's just sticking out behind the Blue Man Group. We can see some supports over there as well. Let's get another good shot of this little spaghetti bowl. I'm assuming we're going to call this a spaghetti bowl, right? It still fits the terminology. It's like a bowl of spaghetti over here. Here's also another look at all the power that's going to be stationed right here. It does look like we have some new duct work coming out of the power area, especially this like behind the concrete and behind the metal area, metal trailer thing. Looks all good to me, but I'm no electrical expert. Let's see, anything else with the supports? Ooh, we do got one support that's staged over there. He's kind of hiding. He's laying down behind the transformers. Here is a look at the mid-course brake run as well. Looking like what we would expect it to look. The catwalk is reaching over now, looking good. And then if we pan down, we can hear a lot of work going on. And it's over here in the scaffolding area where we saw at the beginning of the video. They are, well, it looks like they're actually putting together the scaffolding or taking it down. But again, I believe that was probably just some of the electrical work. We do see those little mini supports coming out of the support, kind of on the sides right there. Do they put a catwalk on these little bunny hops? I wouldn't think so, right? I guess they would. Interesting. Okay, by Inversion, we're going to go in now and say hello to you from the other side, especially over there where Minion Mayhem and the exit to the studio store is located. But wait, I didn't go to the front of the Hard Rock yet. We got to go to the front of the Hard Rock and take a look at all the construction going on from that angle too. Because this coaster is going to have some really good angles from City Walk. And that's really what they were going for. They just posted a creative video on Instagram the other day saying that, like, we wanted to really push it to the skyline again. We wanted to have those moments where you walk in and say, wow, that's a beast. And there we go, from the spike to the little bit of a spaghetti bowl section, all the way to our newest inversion, which again, from this angle is kind of hard to see, but it's just right above that catwalk. Well, Studios doesn't open for another hour, I believe. What's the time? Yeah, for another hour. So I'm gonna head into City Walk, maybe get some like cool, sick B-roll footage of the track and the coaster. So I will see you when I go into Studios. Might even grab some coffee. All right, I finally made it into Universal Studios Florida, so the first stop is over here beside Minion Mayhem. Now, last video, we did see all the added supports over here, but check it out. We've got track on it, and now we've got this sick inversion. Now, obviously, the inversion's not done yet, and it's gonna be coming over the top of this track and connecting over here. You can't really see it, we're at ground level, but it's over here behind Minion Mayhem. But again, this is the shot of the new supports, the new track, and the sweet inversion that has finally graced the skyline today. And if we back up a little bit, you can see all three sets of track. Boom, boom, boom. Up to the inversion and heading that way towards the launch. And let's zoom in on that inversion one more time. Again, I'm gonna call this my pi support. Looks like the pi symbol. It's holding the inversion. We actually go underneath it, so we're going through the pi supports, and we are just drifting away. Before I rush over to the stage, I gotta come about midway so that way you can see what is new over here, and it looks awesome. Check what is over the stage now. We finally have the track going up. Wow. It's not as tall as Rip Ride Rocket yet, but it is going over the stage, like high up over the stage. So it was a steep incline. It's not really that steep of an incline. It kind of just like gracefully speeds up, but oh, you know what? It looks like there's a bit of a twist at the top of that too. Yeah, so right here above the screen, we can see that it is twisting. So there will be a twist element. Sorry, just kind of focused in right then. But it will be twisting coming up or coming down, whichever way we are heading. Also, it's crazy how close the tracks are together. And I know they're not like beside each other, but if we are kind of riding past each other, that's going to make for a cool scene. So that's really cool to see, actually. So we're shooting up here. If we are actually, let me use my finger. If we are coming up this way, I'm assuming the dispatch that happened before us will be coming that way. So we'll kind of meet each other above the stage. Here at Universal Studios Florida, there's always a surprise around the corner. And just right now, I got a little bit of a surprise and delight for a guest because they took me up to the upstairs of Jimmy Fallon to see like the second floor of, what do you call this? The Rockefeller Center, yes. And let me just pan the camera around. Oh yeah, check it out. We are up here now, so let's get a good shot of the coaster track. Well, let's say goodbye to this area since my time is kind of running out up here, and then I'll go around the plaza stage and I will take a view of the recent inversion and the spike. Okay, so here is your shot of the inversion. It's kind of hidden behind the palm trees. Sorry if it looks a little shaky, I just zoomed in. And there is the spike and all the recent track that was added that is making its way to behind the staged area. Well, that was pretty cool. That was actually the second floor of the Jimmy Fallon ride. That was part of the tour for the ride itself, so it was neat just to get that angle. And of course, once I come back down here, that's when they decide to go back up here and start working. But hey, looks like they are doing some work under this little bit of a launch right here. All right, well, that is the construction taking place over here in the plaza stage area. Now I'm gonna head over towards New York and go check in on the entrance. Heading over into New York, we do have some new Halloween Horror Nights props set up, along with some more truss. So they are actively moving along. I will come back and get that in another video, maybe within the next 2 days. So they still have some time to add more cool props up. We are over here finally at the entrance to Hollywood Drift. Not much has changed since the last time. The firehouse facade is still not fully repaired. We did talk about the drivetrain motors and tires last time, as well as some of the new boxes for all the electrical work. However, not too much to say. We did see the siding enclosed on the far side. They still haven't enclosed it over here yet. There is some new scaffolding right there above the track, but nothing to really brag about, you know. Looks like they do have a tent cover over the switch track or beyond the switch track over there, so they could be doing some additional work. However, again, not too much to brag about back here. Now, the corner of my eye was this little structure right here. I did catch a few people, looked like they were signing it. Not sure what entirely it could be of, but hey, I guess time will tell. Maybe we'll see a construction video posted by Universal of them raising some new piece with signatures on it. Now, the crane is behind our unload and load area. It looked like they were moving some like white posts. However, that could be for the maintenance bay that's back there now, or just some additional construction taking place with the track back there, but you can't really see it from this angle. So in a brighter side of news, or a darker side of news, however you want to look at it, it involves Supercharged. Supercharged is officially closing August 16th. So do I think people are going to rush to ride it one last time? Yes, but in an ironic way. Everyone's going to be so excited for that ride to finally close. So naturally, let's go ride it and see if there's any changes made to it. All right, let's go join the family for a super cool party that's not going to get interrupted by any means. All right, we should have one last grill out here before the ride closes. What do you guys want? You want some burgers, steaks, hot dogs? And back into the garage queue we are. Here is the Mona Lisa. So cool, I can't wait to like party on top of it. As far as the queue goes, there's really not much missing. That's probably why they're going to close it so early, so they can just come out here and strip it. Well, that was Supercharged. Nothing was really missing out of the queue itself, other than, you know, its hopes and dreams.
If you are here, I would say ride it just so you can see what it is and how bad it is. Otherwise, you're not missing much, and hopefully I can come see it the last day of its operation. Well, as I'm making my way out of Universal Studios Florida, I'm leaving through Hollywood, and check it out. This is a very good shot of the Inversion, like right over the studio store. This is like a good marketing tactic to get everyone to go to the store. And as you leave the park in typical old school Rip Ride Rocket fashion, you will get to see some of the track, the mid-course brake run, our little non-inversion, but I consider it inversion, and the spike. And then hidden behind the trees is our actual inversion, as we say goodbye, goodbye inversion. All right, everyone, that's going to wrap up my video here today at Universal Studios Florida in Universal Orlando Resort, as we get to see the Hollywood Drift construction take a big turn, or an inversion, as an official inversion has graced our coaster. So yes, we can all rest easy now. We have an inversion. We kind of already had one, if you ask me, but we have an official one now. Over inside studios, when I was able to go up to the second floor of Jimmy Fallon, that one that's kind of twisting over the stage, do we think that's going to become an inversion? Because it looks like it's heading that direction, pun intended. Well, let me know what you guys think about this coaster so far. Are you finally excited to see that there's an inversion? It's not going to be like a little easy peasy coaster. It's finally going to have some thrill and drifting to it around all these twists and turns. Just let me know in the comments, especially if you see anything that you think I missed. Like, let me know, holler in the comments. I like finding things that I missed. And like always, thank you for watching, thank you for following along, and I will see you in the next update video.